Alright guys, so here we are out in the Salt River, and it's not real deep. You can see with these 34-inch BFGoodrich tires on here, it's just up to the step rails, so not overly deep. But the reason I'm down in here is because there's some slippery rock, and the bottom of this river has a really slippery layer of like algae and moss and stuff on it, I guess. You know how it is, that river shale gets really slick, so I just thought it would be a good opportunity to test out how these tires are in wet, slippery conditions. You know, if you have to do a water crossing or something like that. And so far they're doing great, actually. Had quite a bit of control over the Jeep. Of course, I did shift down to 4 low, so but I haven't had any trouble with these things. I mean, you know, the water out here in the river is kind of muddy, so you can sort of see the bottom. You know, it's not real deep right here, but out here on these rocks and slippery, you know, the slippery bottom that's in this river, they're doing a really good job. Now, I was going to try some of these banks. There's some locations along the riverbank here where it's kind of muddy, and some people have cut some trails up through here. But when I got down here today, the fish and wildlife officers were down there kind of keeping an eye on people, so better not get crazy down here today. We'll have to wait and do a mud review on another day. Hey, I think I just saw a fish jump out there. Alright, so that's it for now. I'll be back later with some more. Down here at the Salt River again today. As promised, we're going to do a little bit of mud testing. Not anything extensive, but I just want to see how these KO2s can dig in and bite. I want to see if they're better than the KO or not. So we're going to go over here and play in the mud a little bit and see what happens, I guess. Well, these things are really doing great. Did you see that? Did you see how they just kind of bite and dig? Man, these things are already doing better than the KO. Back when I had the KOs, I wouldn't have made it 10 feet up this little hill right here. This is some really slimy, nasty river mud. It's got a lot of sand in it, but it's also got a lot of clay in it. It just gets real sloppy and nasty. And as you can see, man, these things are just digging in, biting. I've got a, there's a wall right there, a little bit of a, probably about a 5 or 6 foot wall right there, and I don't want to slide into it, so I'm not going to keep going up this hill. This JL's too new to put a big pinstripe on. I know some guys don't care about that, but I don't really want to pinstripe this thing just yet. So, but I can tell just from driving, just from how it feels. I mean, I can tell that if I gave it a little throttle, it would dig in, it would pull me on up this hill. I mean, we're pretty far up the hill now. I mean, I could probably easily drive on up this thing. Problem is, when you get to the top of this little hill, there's a big ravine that goes down into a big mud pit. So I don't really have anywhere to turn around up there today anyhow, but I'm just really impressed that, you know, you can tell these things, I guess it's those outer tread blocks that are allowing it to kind of shed some mud, because that was my complaint with the KO, is they wouldn't shed mud. You know, that interlock tread just kind of, it was like suction. It just grabbed onto the mud and wouldn't let go. So, you know, these are doing a better job. We're gonna have to find maybe a muddy field or something to play in, but I just wanted to see if it would climb this incline in this nasty sloppy river mud, and it's doing a great job. I mean, like I said, you know, my son's back there watching me. He thinks it's funny. I could easily pull on up this thing with some throttle, and this is a sport model. I don't even have a Rubicon, so this thing has no lockers. All it's got is that brake limiting differential, you know, stuff, the electronic stuff, you know, which works pretty good, but it's no substitute for lockers. And these tires are pulling right on up, so I'm pretty pleased with them. We're gonna have to maybe find some more mud somewhere. And look, you can see the tread's not even packed up. Look at that. You can still see some of the openings in the tread there. Pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, I think these KO2s are doing pretty good in the mud. I'm surprised. You know, obviously they're not a mud tire. If you need a tire for mud, if you're in the mud all the time, BFGoodrich makes a mud tire. In fact, the new KM3 is out this summer. I've seen some listings for them, certain sizes already, so they'll be in full swing by this fall. So they've got a mud tire if you need a mud tire, but the whole idea here, obviously, of an all-terrain tire is that you can, you know, it's supposed to be good at everything. It's not great at anything, but it's good at everything. And so far, you know, it's got great traction in the river on these slippery rocks, great traction in the mud. So I guess next thing we need to do is find some sand to play in if we can. And then obviously this winter when it snows, I can't wait to see how they do in the snow. But I'm gonna go ahead and back out of here before I end up sliding into this wall right here. It's got tree roots and stumps and stuff sticking out of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and back on down. But all right guys, I'll be back later on with some different terrain. We'll try these tires out in some other terrain. All right, take care, have a good day. Oh, and happy Independence Day. Go America. No problem. Absolutely no problem.
Doesn't care at all.
This Jeep just does not care, especially with these tires on it. Alright, he's gonna get over here and we're good? Okay, he's gonna make sure we can crawl down off of this.
You can go down.
Okay. Yeah, the camera doesn't do it justice. It's a lot more steep than it looks on camera. Whoa. I can't, the glare of the sun is keeping me from being able to see the camera, so I don't know what the camera's seeing and what it's not, but see how you can still see the tread in those tires? They're not packing up with mud hardly at all. Really surprising. Really surprising. Oh yeah, we got this. That's a great thing about the Wrangler's approach angle. Awesome. Alright, back down to the river again. I'm gonna go over here. There's some mud over here to play in. I'm gonna go play some more. But man, these tires are doing great. Really happy with these things. So that was no big deal, but that's the first mud this JL's been in. Like I said, this muddy hill here, man, this stuff is just sloppy. It's got a lot of clay in it. That's probably, yeah, I'd say it's a good 5 feet. Too bad the camera doesn't do it justice. But man, these KO2s, they're walking right up this stuff with little effort. I'm honestly surprised. This is probably the best all-terrain tire that I've ever used in this kind of terrain. Usually all-terrains, you get them down here in this clay and mud and they just pack up and turn into racing slicks and then you're pretty much done. You have to use wheel speed to pretty much go anywhere, but these KO2s are doing a great job. I just can't stop raving about them. I'm really surprised at how well they're doing down here. But all right, I'm honestly gonna wrap it up now. It's getting hot out here, 4th of July. We're gonna go to town, have a cookout, watch some fireworks tonight. Thanks to all the veterans out there, and thanks for watching. Here to show everybody the road noise. There's pretty much not any road noise. We're 55 miles an hour here on this highway, and there's not much road noise at all. These things are not loud. In fact, you can probably hear the air conditioning more than you can the tires. They roll smooth. The guys at Discount Tire got these things balanced perfectly on the first try. They all had, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 ounces each. They roll smooth all the way up to 70 miles an hour. These things are smooth, and they're just really, really quiet out here on the pavement. Now, time will tell after they get some miles on them and I rotate them. Sometimes aggressive tires get louder, but we'll have to wait and see. For now, these things are virtually silent. I mean, there's more wind noise around this hardtop and from the air conditioning than there is tire noise. Not bad, not bad at all. So far, I would say that BFGoodrich did a really good job on this new all-terrain.